The first voyage around the world by Antonio Pigafetta. In this info video, we discuss or tackle and we travel back in time to ascertain one of the integral history, and we also talk about the significant events and explain the vital and comprehend the history in the Philippines. There are some of dramatization here in video. Antonio Pigafetta his true name is Antonio Lombardo, but he is also known by his famous name Francisco Antonio Pigafetta. He was born in 1490, he died in 1534. He belonged to a wealthy family in Vicenza in northeast Italy. Pigafetta studied navigation, astrology, geography, and cartography. He joined the expedition to his spice lands led by the explorer Ferdinand Magellan. He is the eldest child among his siblings of two. His parents' names are Giovanni Pigafetta and Angela Zoga. Pigafetta served on board the ships of the Knight of Rhodes at the beginning of the 16th century. He was the right hand of Ferdinand Magellan during the voyage. The first historical document of Pigafetta is the ships. The government of Spain provided 5 ships for the Magellan expedition. The names of the ships were Trinidad, the San Antonio, the Concepcion, the Santiago, and the Victoria. Ferdinand Magellan led the 5 Spanish ships and 237 men in what was to become the first voyage around the world. The Spanish ship headed by Ferdinand Magellan was known as the Magellan Fleet. Armada de Molucca, Antonio Pigafetta, the author of the book, was on board the Victoria at the end of the voyage. It was the only ship that could return to Spain. This is the map of Magellan's circumnavigation of the world. You can see the route of Magellan's expedition. Pigafetta submitted copies of his narrative to various prominent personages upon his arrival in Europe, including Pope Clement VII, the mother of King Francis I of France. His original diary has been lost and the language in which it was written is unknown. Survives in 4 manuscript versions, 1 in Italian, 3 in French. The navigator, Fernando de Magellan'S, a 38-year-old Portuguese when started the fleet, the first European to cross the Pacific Ocean.
The important historical document, March 17, 1521, originally March 16, arrival in Zamal. Humunu was the name of the island. There are many islands in the district. They are known as the San Lazaro Archipelago, as they were found on St. Lazarus Sunday, April 1, 1521, originally March 31. The first Mass in the Philippines was held in Masawa. The Mass was attended by Magellan, Raja Colombo, Raja Siagu, Spanish voyagers, and the local islanders. April 8, 1521, originally April 7, Magellan and his crew reached in Cebu's port. Magellan and his men encountered some struggle when first entering port of Cebu. The king of Cebu requisitioned tribute from Magellan and his crew. Although Magellan refused and told the translator that they were working for the king of Spain, threatening him with war. April 15, 1521, originally April 14, Raja Humabon and his people attended the celebration, which included a mass. The Queen of Our Lady requested the picture of the young child Jesus to replace her idols, and this image of the child Jesus is now known as the Santo Niño, which was found in Cebu. April 27, 1521, originally April 26, the captain did not wish to fight then, but sent a message to the natives to the effect that if they would obey the King of Spain, recognize the Christian king as their sovereign, and pay us our tribute, he would be their friend. But if they wish otherwise, they should wait to see how our alliances wounded. April 28, originally April 27, at midnight, 60 of Magellan's men, including the Christian king, prince, some of the chief men, and 20 or 30 balanghais, headed out armed with corselets and helmets. The native islanders had bamboo lances and stakes that had been hardened by fire. They used a poisoned arrow to wound the captain's right leg and twice knock his helmet off his head.
I kept a complete journal, which I am putting into a book. I'll present one to you, King Charles. He sailed east for Portugal to the Philippines and then sailed west for Spain to the Philippines. He did realize his dream. Magellan was an unusual man. He was our mirror, our light, our comfort, and our true guide. He was an exceptional man and used the skills he learned in his youth. Magellan was born into an upper-class Portuguese family. He was sent to court at the age of 12 and became a page. That was to Magellan's benefit. The young man not only learned music, dancing, courtly manners, and diplomacy, but geography and navigation as well. He earned that limp in service to Portugal, fighting the Moors who were attacking Portuguese trading vessels along the coast of Africa.
Pigafetta had an inquisitive nature, a good ear and the industry to write down all that he saw or heard about on our voyage. I've decided to choose Antonio Pigafetta to join with us because of his unique knowledge, which was definitely a great asset for us on our journey towards our chosen destination.
This manuscript volume, dating from around 1525, details Ferdinand Magellan's voyage around the world in 1519 to 1522. The book is credited to Antonio Pigafetta, a Venetian scholar who accompanied Magellan on his journey and was born in Vicenza, Italy, circa 1490. Pigafetta kept a meticulous journal which has been lost. Pigafetta's account of the expedition, written between 1522 and 1525, has been preserved in 4 manuscript versions, 1 in Italian and 3 in French. This version in French is the most comprehensive and beautifully made of the 4 surviving manuscripts, and it comes from Yale University's library. It features 23 maps that are wonderfully made and lit. Pigafetta's book is significant not just as a source of information regarding the voyage, but also as the first Western description of the Philippine people and languages. Pigafetta was one of just 18 men that returned to Spain from the 240 soldiers who started out with Magellan. Magellan was killed in a combat on Mactan Island, Philippines on April 27, 1521, which Pigafetta observed and chronicles in this work.